Hey, good morning, folks. Curtis here. I want to talk about the subject of money, dreams, goals, ambitions, and life. Um, a lot of times we have, when you think about money, people say, "Oh, I want a bunch of it." And if I said, "Let's make a dreams list," I was listening to Jim Rohn, and says, "Well, what's the possibility that you could have with money versus don't have money?" Money to me is not good or evil. It's what you do with it when you get it that can become evil. Uh, a, the basic thing for, let's say, a young man, and you get married, and he talked about this. The first thing is have enough money to provide for myself, to be self sufficient, for me to be able to get food and have shelter and have what I need. It takes money. We agree on that. Now, let's say you go and you get married. Okay, now you got a wife to provide for. Okay, the same with the woman. You know, you want to make a little home together with your man, and so a lot of times you have to go to work, or your husband, you're gonna have to find a man that makes enough to take care of you and him, right? And then you bring along some little children. So again, there's a desire for money. These are the basics, right? And so we have these children and we try to make a go of it, as I say in Australia, and it takes money. But a lot of times what we're doing is we have two jobs. We're making just enough money to feed ourselves, pay our bills, and we don't have extra money. Some of that is because of our stewardship, because when we start making more money, we start spending more money. We buy bigger houses, we buy bigger cars. It's a known fact that if you make $25,000 a year together in your beginning journey, you will have your budget right there. You don't have any extra money. You make 50,000, you buy another car. You make 100,000, you buy a bigger home, and there's just not any money left. What is it? It's spending habits. Okay. Why money? And why do we put money as the goal? Because money is just, when you start, well, what do I want? Now, I find myself at this stage in my life, when you back when I was young and 30, if you asked me to make a dreams list, I want a big house, I want to be a millionaire, I want a 6,000 acres of prime hunting land, and I'd like to have boats and cars and trains and planes and automobile. At 60, being a widower, I would like a good woman as a wife again, like I had. I could live in a tiny house on a hill, have enough money for food, be comfortable. Now, here's the thing. Being comfortable and just taking care of myself and taking care of her may be all you really want, but it's going to take money, some form of money, and so there's a goal. But more important than that is what I've been trying to deep dive into, and I'm just stating my opinion. Deep dive into is, what about other than me, my family, my wife, and my children? Of course, now look, I went through a divorce, so I kind of lost that motive. Except I paid child support and I worked through that time. But once I got through that time, I lost my mojo, my motive. Why I went through this to pay that and do all that, and now it's just me, and I need something outside. For me, I'm the type of person that I always felt like I need something outside. I do need a wife. I do need to be focusing on, providing for my family, for future generations. Well, that kind of got disturbed a little bit, because it's like, I love my children, but I really didn't have the experience, the closeness. See, when we get into a close relationship with our cause, we form a mission, a why. Money is just something that we can make a goal. But the why for money, for like, if I made enough for my wife, my family, my kids, and my children, and we live comfortable, do I have a desire to give to charity, to feed the hungry? Beyond the family block, how much money would you like to be able to give away? Well, I see a lot of people say, I don't believe they're preaching on the money thing. Yeah, and you're not giving much to charity, prison ministry, feeding the soup kitchen. You're not doing anything else. And honestly, you have a spirit of poverty on you. Yeah, it's kind of demoniac religious, some false humility. Because if you really stopped and thought about what I just said, you would know that it takes money to run ministry. And somebody has to make it. Somebody has to go work, use their brain, skills, talents, and time that God has given us and earn the income. And it's okay for Joe down the road to be the corporate entrepreneur and bring to your ministry some money so that you can feed the hungry. Somebody has to make it. I read a book by George Mueller. Now this is the truth. You know it's going to take money. Money will come into your hand, so you steward the money that comes in there. You're going to function, if you're doing ministry work, you're going to function on the ministry or feeding. I don't care if it's dog rescue. You can't do dog rescue without contributors. Somebody has to be out there working. While you're out there scrapping up all the dogs that are running stray trying to save the animals, somebody has to have money for dog food. And somebody has to say, look, I support you. So there has to be money makers in the world. Yeah. Because Tractor Supply or Walmart, they're not going to give you dog food for free. Sometimes they will, but they're only going to do that on a limited basis. You know, Purina gives to all kind of stuff. Veterinarians actually can give to it. But the veterinarian is working his butt off making money so that he can help you. Somebody has to be an earner. I'm back to what gets me when I wake up in the morning, what am I motivated? This is where I've lost my mojo. What am I motivated? I'm by myself. I'm checking out social media. What's my cause? What's my mission? Well, I know I'm going to need some money to pay my bills. I'm going to need some money if I only go on a date. What woman's going to want a broke man falling apart, 60 years old? I'm just trying to relate this to you. Now, maybe you have a job and you're going and you're paying and making enough and maybe you're comfortable. Well, I'm paying my bills and I'm comfortable with this. It's kind of like I have a little cozy house and I just keep doing the same thing. But you're actually not thinking about helping other people. It's a form of, I hate to tell you, it's a form of selfishness when you're not thinking about contributing to something other than outside of your family block. Why would you want to make more money to serve and help other people? This is where I'm trying to get to in my own life. What I do helps other people, and I want to try to get my mojo. I'm trying to get my passion back for why I want to wake up in the morning and I'm excited to step outside the door. And it's not just about making enough money for me and my family, or just me in my case. Give me a reason. For me as a widower, give me a reason. I'm looking for like that once. I'm honestly looking for that special person that I get up and I say, I'm going to go work so that I can do something for her. Yeah. Now, some of the women don't understand that. Now, all guys aren't that way. All women aren't that way. A lot of people wake up and they want to do this for themselves because of their wounds. I want to get up, have enough money, take care of myself, and I don't want to have to put up with a bunch of BS, mental wounds, hurts, pains, and your bad habits. But for me, I want to get up and say, me and her, me and him, in the women's case, me and him are working together for maybe just for our little tiny house on the hill. Maybe our little place in the swamp. Us, the snakes, the alligators. And maybe that's all you want. When we're doing dream building, a lot of people will say, think about all the things that you want. That's what Jim Rohn was. Well, honestly, I found myself saying, I'm not really wanting to have $1 million mansion, a big house. It takes too much. Now, if I could hire people, if I had enough money, I could hire somebody to take care of it. That's where you level up. Now I could be providing somebody with a job and income because I work, and now they can come and do my yard work, and that's what money will do. And I can go do my adventures, and at the Crater of Diamonds, I can go see the Grand Canyon. I can go to Australia. Now those things kind of motivated me, but it's going to take money to do it. But what is the how, the why? If you know your why or what, if you at least put something out there that you want more, then when you wake up in the morning, you can shoot for that goal. You know, I just would like to have $1,000 in the bank account. Is better than saying I just hope that by the end of the month I've got enough money. So find something other than outside of your, maybe your family block, your daily routine life, and find a why. And then you ask, then when you start pursuing it, the how comes about. We are dealing with what we call the law of attraction. In other words, if money is either, if you have a negative mindset about money, you won't attract it. That's why you're not getting any more. Same thing with the mate. If you have a negative self-attitude or self-image of yourself, you're not going to attract a good mate. The reason is because what you're putting off, who you are right now, is what you're attracting. Your words, your appearance, how you feel about yourself is reflected. So if you want a good wife or a good husband, you know, you can't be sitting there on Facebook complaining about every man or every woman. You can't be down and out, because it's just not going to be attractive. Now, we have to watch out for people that have learned the art of attraction, and they're not, you know, it's a mask, and you're saying, oh, well, they look like they got their life together. And then there's people like me that tell you, honey, I ain't got mine together. Well, that's not very attractive, but I'm honest with you, I ain't got it all together. And I'm trying to work on it together. And I want somebody to get it together with. In other words, some people are trying to say, oh, look at me, I'm happy, I'm single, and I'm independent, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you know, you're not sharing life. And some of you may not want to share life with anybody anymore. That's fine too. Actually, the Apostle Paul said, if you can be like me. I just know I'm not. I do better working on a team. I like playing baseball. I like to play golf, which is an individual sport, but I love playing the scramble because I'm sitting around with people and we get to talk. I'm a social person. I'm an extrovert. I'm an extrovert introvert. I'm complicated. What I'm trying to say is money is not evil, but being a steward of your money is the key. When you're by yourself a lot and you don't have nothing to do, you go to Walmart. I even go to Walmart and buy extra food, you know. And it's a good thing because I got it stored, but I can spend money on food things that I don't need. I can go buy another fishing pole. I can go buy jigs or go buy a boat, you know, if I got extra money. Even the poor folks buy extra stuff, you know, extra TV dinners and sit around and eat more than they should. Yeah, and I'm talking about people on a truly limited budget, which I am. I don't get a check. Limited budget. If I don't get up and go fix an appliance, I don't get paid. I don't have a due check coming in. I don't have a retirement check. I don't have a disability check, or I don't get food stamps or anything. So I'm dependent on the Lord for my phone to ring and for people that need, and me go solve a problem. See, this is the key to life. This is what Jim Rohn is talking about. You're going to solve another person's problem, and the bigger problem you solve, the more money you can make. So you need to grow yourself. If you have limited ability, then and you go get an employee job, then you are paid based on what you do for the company. That's all the company pays you for the problems you solve. Other people in the company are making more money because they're solving bigger problems. Like Jim Rohn said, that's all the company pays you. You know, you got to change you. You got to change what you do and who you are, and change the type of problem you solve in order to earn more money. But when you earn the money, make it that we want to do something, we want to do something with the money besides just take care of ourselves. What's your why? What's your big thing? Who do you want to become? Now, some of us are going to say, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care if I don't ever have a bunch of this stuff. And then things happen in our life. We need more money to take care of our sickness, our disease. Or we have these things laying around and we realize I'm not taking them. They're not going with me. I've actually accumulated a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of tools, a lot of fishing poles, and a lot of trinkets all around the wall. And this is where I heard gather your remnants. How much of this do you really need? The remnants of bread. Gather your crumbs. You're not broke. You just need to get some these baskets of stuff that you have and go ahead, if you're not using it, and selling it. I found it very interesting in Jim Rohn's talk that Andrew Carnegie, the big steel man, said he set a goal that he wanted to make as much money as he could in the first half of his life, and in the second half give it all away. And he did just that. Now, I don't know what Dale Carnegie did morally, and I know he made some changes on America to make the money. A lot of people that's made lots of money have made changes to their advantage to make more money, and some of those things were not good for us. But their goal was to make all the money they could, and then at the end of their life, give it away. Because at the end of the life, whether you got 50 cents, $50, or 500,000, $500,000, you're not taking it with you. Think about that. That kind of sunk in. I want to make money. I want to be motivated when I wake up this morning to go do something besides sit around on my Facebook profile and make videos. I want to go do something to make a difference in the world. What can you do to make a difference? And don't discount yourself. Because there's a lot of things you can do that's going to make one difference in one person's life. That's all it takes. It may not be about money. He used an example. Maybe you went and you had breakfast with somebody. He said Denny's. I don't even know if Denny's is still open. Your local coffee shop. Or you met somebody in the aisle of Walmart, and you lifted and encouraged them at just the right time. How about a legacy like that? Somebody later on says, I don't know who that guy was at Walmart. I was on the produce aisle, and I was feeling down, and he lifted me. That lady sitting behind me said something to me I never heard, and it made a difference in my life. Sometimes we're looking at big goals, but maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to write a little book and a story about your life, and you can do it. Or maybe you want to do a video. Maybe perhaps somebody's going to watch this, and one thing I said, if you listen through it all, made a difference in your life. You are valuable. That Jesus went and looked for the lost sheep and the lost coins. He knows where you're at. Maybe you're like me, you've lost your wife or your husband. You're still valuable. You're still breathing. Maybe when you go with your friends, you're going to encourage them. Maybe they're going to see what you went through and say, you know, if you went through it, so can I. We're on a journey together. It's when we're reflecting on ourselves a whole time, is when we're selfish, and that's when we're not much good for anything, because all we want to do is talk about us. Now, I talk about me. I've been through some things. I wanted just to flat out quit, move, go to a mountain. I love it. But somewhere along the way, something that you've already done is going to be valuable to help somebody else get through what they went through. See, I was listening to Jordan Peterson. Here's one thing I want you to realize. Wherever you're at in your stage, so your timeline is like your beginning of your life is the X, your birth date. And then your end date, we don't know. We don't know where this end date is. But there's things you went through. And so let's say you're just, well, I call it the swamp experience. Maybe you're in depression. But on that journey right there, you're in a window And there's people coming behind you, and there's people ahead of you. And this is the window. And he used a different word. I wish I could remember. But let's say that's a health journey. You just started your health journey. There's people right there behind you that want to start, and you're going to encourage them to just start eating clean. And then there's people just ahead of you that will help pull you to the next level. So Jordan Peterson used a 3-year-old will look to a 5-year-old as their model, role model. They're not looking at the 15-year-old. You're 3 years old. You know, you're watching what the 5-year. You want to be like the 5-year-old that throws the baseball. That later on, as you get 10, you start looking at 15-year-olds, and you start looking at the pros, right? Because they're pros don't mean they have their life together, but that's your goal. You want to be better than you are, and that's called growth. And that's what we all need to do. When you're 60-year-old, you need to be looking at 80-year-olds. And even younger people at that stage, there's some younger people, 30s, that are got things together. And so you're in the middle. But our goal is to be pulled up the mountain, to move higher, not to stay comfortable and level, and to bring somebody with you. Encourage somebody, and you got people that you will be around today that will encourage you. Now, you have to watch out for the crowd of lower demeanor mental states. They complain, they bitch, they raise hell. They're not going anywhere. They're literally comfortable. And they could have money. They could have money and houses and be higher up this level. And you're going, wow, it'd be nice to have that house and be able to go on vacation. But they're not growing either. Oh, wow. They're not growing either. They're comfortable. Those people are they've achieved a level and are comfortable. And are they doing things for others? I don't know if they're doing things for other people. I don't know if they're contributing. They know. But you can get to a level of success where you get comfortable, and it can be a higher level than, you know, the guy down here trying to pay his bills. But you always want to be growing. You always want to be lifting and encouraging, and you don't want to get critical. When we get critical about ourselves, or we get critical about other people, or we worry about the things in this world, we're going to get stuck in the swamp. But you're at the swamp of despond when you have a lot of things in your account. They cause you to stick and get stuck, and your growth capacity. You're not bringing anybody along. You're not trying to rise above. You're in the comfortable position, enjoying life, and you can do that for a while. But I promise you, most people that understand what I'm talking about are not. After a while, you're going to go, well, I took my siesta, I went and enjoyed my life, but something's missing, and I've got to bring some other people up. I've got to find somebody to help. It's a desire in your heart to help another person that's either above you, below you, or right where you're at in that window of opportunity. And when you don't have that feeling that you have people right here within that zone, that's when you feel lonely. That's when you feel left out. So, hope that helps. I'm always going to get some kind of stupid call in the middle of this, and I don't know why that happens, but anyway, I hope that helps. Find your mojo, find your reason. I hope you wake up this morning and you're passionate. I struggle with that. I put things off, things I know I should do. I go grab my fishing pole. I'm tempted right now to go catch crappie and think more about this. But along your way today, find somebody to lift, find somebody to encourage, and maybe one day they'll say, hey, that lady, that guy I met at the coffee shop encouraged me, said a few words, and changed my life. You may never know who they are. So be a person of encouragement, be a person willing to listen. Yes, we need to listen more. I'm a storyteller. I need to be quiet and listen, because so many people are going through much more worse than we are. You know, an advice giver. Try this, try that. You know, us researchers, we have information. Well, I read on that. I read on that. I really have. I've read on a lot of things. I like to grow. I like to help. I like to have something to contribute to somebody. I may not have a lot of money, but I hope I've got a lot more encouragement. I hope that my goal, gold, is that I encouraged more people than I discouraged. Maybe that's all I have. Peter says, silver and gold have I none, but this gift of the Holy Ghost be healed. You know, this gift of encouragement, this gift of love. I do have some of that left. Amen. Y'all have fun. Hope it helps.